So you've been to Moody's Diner, Letourneau's Auto Parts, and most every major landmark in between. And though you're from away, you'll fit in most any day when you're wearing your new boots from LL Bean. Here's that part. You know what I mean. Boots from LL Bean, they go awful good with black or red or green. And you look more like a Mainer than any out-of-stater in your rubber bottom boots from LL Bean. So you'd like to catch some trout or a salmon without doubt, but you can't go boating without Dramamine. But you've got a fishing vest with 49 pockets, it's the best, which you purchased with your boots at LL Bean. Now you can't buy boots like these in any other store, not Bloomingdale's or Rennie's or Filene's. But any time of night or day, stop at Freeport and just say, I want some of them rubber bottom boots from LL Bean. And they'll know what you mean. Oh, boots from LL Bean, the ones that go awful good with black or red or green. And you'll look more like a Mainer than any out-of-stater in your chamois shirt and boots from LL Bean. Now these boots cost somewhat more than those from another store, but they'll look so sharp with your designer jeans. Though the cost is a dite high, they are still a good buy, for there is status in those boots from LL Bean. So you'd like to catch a deer, there's big bucks in Maine, you hear. Of course, as a hunter, you are somewhat green, but you'll bring a case of bud and go traipsing through the mud with 9 pals, all wearing boots from you-know-where. 'Cause they know what you mean. Boots from LL Bean, they go awful good with black or red or green. And you'll all look more like Mainers than any out-of-staters in your rubber bottom boots from LL Bean. I've got one more thing to say to you. If you're ever in Acadia, I'll probably know you when you make the scene. For your custom motorhome has a lot of extra chrome. You'll be sporting brand new boots from LL Bean. You look like any outdoors man with your artificial tan. You'll be carrying a Down East magazine. You'll be saying wicked good just like any Yankee would. And you'll be showing off your boots from you-know-where. You know what I mean. They go awful good with black or red or green. And you look more like a Mainer than any out-of-stater in your rubber bottom boots from LL Bean. Thank you, music lovers. So we're going to change mood a little bit. This is a song called Henry Aaron's Mail. Do y'all know who Henry Aaron was? Very briefly, Henry Aaron was one of the greatest baseball players ever. He was a black man who came up only a few years after the major leagues were finally integrated. He played minor league ball in the Deep South, one of the first to do that, and that was pretty tough. After he played a year in the Negro Leagues. And he came up in 1954, and 20 years later, he had very good health, and he was suddenly it was apparent that he was going to break the 40-year-old career home run record of Babe Ruth, and which had once been deemed impossible to break. And not only that, but there were a lot of people apparently who thought it shouldn't be broken, certainly not by a black baseball player. And in fact, that was like considered apparently sacrilegious by a lot of people. And Henry got a lot of mail about that, and that's what this song's about. Henry walks up the attic stairs, a short and easy climb. Takes out a box of letters as he does from time to time. The notes are brusque and to the point, but they carry a great weight. For all the letters in that box are messages of hate. They all are postmarked from the year of 1974, except a few that date back to a year or two before. It should have been a happy time, an ode to skill and youth, for Henry would soon break the home run record of Babe Ruth. The notes are filled with racial slurs and even threats of death. Where does such venom generate? It takes away one's breath. We all hope evil will subside, but it lives with us yet. And Henry said, it takes a toll, but I don't want to forget. Time rolls on, ball players come and go, and records fall. Once in a while, a man steps up who can really bash the ball. Years go by, old heroes die, but race hate marches on. I hope the day will come when vicious bigotry is gone. It was hard to do what Henry did, all those hits and home runs. But the baseball feats were not the hardest thing he's ever done. He fought a long, tough battle for respect and dignity, for tolerance and justice, and for full equality. When Henry played in the Negro League back in 1951, in a D.C. grill, the team sat down when the meal was done. They heard 'em breaking every dish and plate they'd eaten off. If dogs had eaten off those plates, they just would have been washed. I never met Hank Aaron, I was just another fan. But I've looked upon the hate mail people sent to that great man. When I read some of the letters in a book, I had to cry, to think how much it must have hurt, such meanness there, but why? Time rolls on, ball players come and go, records fall. Once in a while, a man steps up who can really bash the ball. Years go by, old heroes die, but race hate marches on. I hope the day will come when vicious bigotry is gone. It was almost 50 years ago, but much is still the same. Considering their disappointments, some men cast the blame on people who are not like them in color or in creed. I guess it must fulfill some deep and antiquated need. Time goes on, ball players come and go, and records fall. Once in a while, a man steps up who can really bash the ball. Years go by, old heroes die, but race hate marches on. I hope the day will come when vicious bigotry is gone.